Welcome to There's No Place Like Home, the radio show coming to you on WRXB 1590 AM and Pinellas County Connection TV. This program is presented to you as an opportunity to hear information that can help you fulfill your dream of owning your very own home. We also share information about upcoming special events and programs to help you enjoy the good life in Pinellas County, as well as other items of interest. The sponsor of this program is the Housing Finance Authority of Pinellas County, which offers the First-Time Homebuyers Program, your key to home ownership, helping people in Pinellas, Pasco, and Polk counties make their dreams of home ownership a reality. I'm Frank Bowman, alongside Jane Merlin, your host for today's show. Hello, Jane. How are you doing today?
I'm well, and yourself?
I'm doing very, very good. It's a little break in the from the heat is beginning to come upon us, so I always look forward to this time of year.
Yeah, we're in fall now. It's hard to believe.
I know. It's not the same fall you see in other places in the country, but it is Florida fall.
Yes, and we love our Florida fall. And one of the other things that we love is Habitat for Humanity.
Very much so. One of our great partners.
Absolutely, and we're thrilled that we've got a couple of guests joining us. And coming up in a few moments will be Ron Spohr, Chief Operations Officer, and Steve Lightburn, who is Vice President of Development. And they're going to tell us all the great things that are happening with Habitat for Humanity and some of the partnerships that we have and ways that folks who are tuning in can be involved, and we're just thrilled to have them here. And but before we get into that, I know that you have an update from our sponsor, Frank.
That is correct, Jane. The Housing Finance Authority, or as we call them, the HFA, is offering its first-time homebuyer program for individuals in Pinellas, Pasco, and Polk counties who have never owned a home, have not owned a home in the last 3 years, or who are veterans. The HFA offers a low rate on its Home Key mortgage, which is a 30-year fixed rate. And if you need a little help with down payment and closing costs, they can help you with that as well, with the Home Key second mortgage. To get your key to home ownership, call 727-464-8210 or visit the website at www.pinellascounty.org/community/HFA. We would also like to remind folks that Pinellas County's newest housing initiative for veterans, Proud Ground Pinellas, is available for veterans and active military personnel. Great homes at exceptional prices are currently available with a grant of up to $10,000 to help with closing costs. Additional information on that program is available on the HFA's website, and again, that address is www.pinellascounty.org/community/HFA. We certainly like hearing from our audience, so if you'd like more information or have comments about the show, call us at 727-461-8210 or email us at housingfinanceauthority@pinellascounty.org. You can also catch past shows on Pinellas County Connection TV or by logging on to the website to view streaming video, or you can catch us on YouTube. Jane?
Thank you, Frank. And those are two great programs that the Housing Finance Authority is involved with. And as a matter of fact, if you check our website, we do have a story about one of the veterans who purchased one of the Proud Ground Pinellas homes. So we're real pleased with how that program is going.
Yes, it's an excellent program. It's serving a very deserving population, and these are part of the Neighborhood Stabilization Program properties that the HFA has been involved in. And by targeting these to veterans, we're serving a very important population group. And the houses are totally remodeled and, just really updated with energy efficient components and new appliances and great deals. So I hope people call in who are veterans or active military service people and find out about that.
Absolutely, and it's a nice transition into our topic where we've got some more great homes that are available for people, some very deserving families and individuals, and that is through Habitat for Humanity. And joining us today are Ron Spohr, who is the Chief Operations Officer, and Steve Lightburn, Vice President of Development. And we want to welcome you both to There's No Place Like Home.
Thank you.
Nice to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Thank you. And Steve, why don't we just start off by talking about what is Habitat for Humanity and how did it get started here in Pinellas County?
Oh,
Great question. Well, putting faith into action, Habitat for Humanity of Pinellas County promotes family stability by providing innovative and affordable housing to qualified individuals and families. And we partner with the community and with the families themselves to work toward our ultimate goal of eliminating substandard housing in Pinellas County. In 1976, Millard and Linda Fuller actually created Habitat for Humanity International in Americus, Georgia. And a few short years later, in 1985, there was a ministerial alliance in St. Petersburg, and that was the birth of Habitat Pinellas. And in that same year, in January 1985, we were incorporated and recognized as an affiliate of Habitat International. And in that same year, we started and completed our first house.
Exciting. And since that beginning, how many homes have been built?
Well, on October 1st, Monday, this last Monday, World Habitat Day, as designated by the United Nations a few years ago, we dedicated in a big celebration our 253rd and 254th safe, affordable, and sustainable house in Pinellas County.
That's fantastic. Well, congratulations on that great achievement. And tell us how the homeowners are actually selected for your homes.
Well, I'll try and give you the short version because it can be a little bit lengthy in terms of all of the requirements that go in there. But homeowner candidates are selected based on many criteria. One is that they have to live in Pinellas County. Another is that they have to have an income, and that income has to be within the 30 to 80% range of the average median income for Pinellas County. This is because we actually provide a hand up, not a handout. We sell the houses with a 30-year 0% mortgage, and they have to be able to afford to repay the mortgage. We're not taking struggling families and individuals from one place and putting them back into the same situation. We're actually giving them an opportunity to prosper and to have the American dream, home ownership, as it goes through. There must also be a demonstrated need. For example, overcrowding, unsafe conditions, unhealthy conditions, predatory landlord, etc., things like that. And they have to agree to sign a covenant with us, and they partner to provide what we call sweat equity. And sweat equity is where they actually help to build other people's homes, other homeowner candidates, and also to build their own home. Now, along with that, they also agree to take and complete 13 homeowner classes. We're preparing them hopefully to be the best possible homeowners that anyone can have. I wish this had been available when I bought my first home because there would have been some changes made. The easy way to do this is to go online. We have a very robust website. It's www.habitatpinellas.org, and there's a radio button on the left-hand side that says Apply for Home Ownership. If you click on that, it takes you into all of the criteria, and there is a pre-qualification application form that's out there, and they can go ahead and fill that out. It populates, and then we'll review it from there.
Fantastic. And how long does it usually take to get a home?
Well, it's really interesting because the average to complete the affordable housing program is about 12 to 18 months, depending on the individual or the families that are in there. They are not penalized, however, if it takes them longer on the front end to get through the classes and to get their first 100 or so hours. We actually offer a property after the first 100 hours in an area close to, maybe not exactly where they would like to be, but close to where they would like to be living. And then that last period of time, the 12 weeks from the start of the house itself to the actual completion of the construction where we're doing the dedication, is the real crash and burn time. They have to have all of their hours complete by that point in time. But if it takes them a year or a year and a half to get up to the point of actually getting to that, then we don't penalize for it.
And the education is so important for the homeowners, and that's one thing that we like to encourage everybody to do before they get into a home is take those classes.
Yeah, those classes are essential, and it's really interesting because, as you mentioned, most of the people who are helping to provide these services all make a comment about the fact that wish this had been available when I was buying my first home. It's a tremendous amount of information, and I know Habitat does a wonderful job of educating their home buyers and also creating a sense of belonging and a sense of partnership with the Habitat organization and all the other homeowners that have gone through ahead of them.
It is a relationship that is built and sort of a family unit because there's common ground within there. And then we, of course, as being the escrow agent and the mortgagor and the buyer and the builder and so on, that sort of makes that relationship even greater than it would be otherwise. Speaking of the homeowner classes, though, there is one thing to mention that might be helpful to the listening audience, and that's that all of our classes, as long as we're giving them, they're free to the public, and all they have to do is come when we're having a class, and they're welcome to attend.
Oh,
So
that's wonderful.
Even if somebody is not actively applying to Habitat, they can still come and benefit from those classes.
Absolutely. In fact, we have a new class that with the Florida Extension Service on agriculture and so on Florida friendly landscaping and drought-resistant landscaping that has just been added. And we did have people who came from the community in general to actually join us for that class.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And speaking of Florida-friendly landscaping and things, a lot of your homes have many of those sort of green features built into them, I understand.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's another thing. These homes are affordable on the front end, and folks are nurtured into the homeownership role. But you guys have some supportive services that go on beyond the initial home buying. Isn't that correct?
Exactly. We, part of the process is to keep the family in the home. It's not one of these things where we want to lose anyone out of the affordable home market. And by nurturing the family and having them nurture their children and so on, what it creates for the community, if you will, is a new taxpayer, a very, very good homeowner in most cases, and the ability for the next generation to actually do better than the last. The relationship that we have with homeowner picnics and different activities that we put together strengthens that bond even further. And then with a community like our Stevens Creek subdivision, which I think we'll talk about later, or Shady Grove in Dunedin, then there's that commonality of being in a location where each of the homeowners is a Habitat homeowner. And
the Stevens Creek project is a wonderful one, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about that a little bit. Another major, I guess it's partly a revenue-generating component of Habitat, but you've got the new resale store. What kind of items does the store carry, and tell us how people can donate to that or whatever the process would be.
Okay. Well, the resale store, which we call the Restore, I think that's a copyrighted name by Habitat, started out about 7 years ago as a home improvement and construction materials resale establishment. And we had people who wanted to donate other things. And not to turn anything down, we just expanded. So now we accept everything from furniture, lawn tools and equipment, working appliances, other types of tools, furniture, which I think I mentioned already, home goods, electronics, seasonal items, and even some weird stuff that gets put in there. But, if it sells and makes money, actually the profits from the Restore have sponsored 3 Habitat Pinellas homes. So it's done
wonderful.
well for us.
So folks who are doing a little home improvement, and I have to report that a few years ago I was outfitting a little workshop, and I went down to the resale store or Restore and bought somebody else's old kitchen cabinets, and it happened to be a 7-foot section with all drawers, which is what I needed for the workshop organization. bought it at a tremendous price, and when you go there and pick stuff up, there's all sorts of people to help you load it in your vehicle and everything else, but it is a great bargain, and all kinds of materials there. So,
well, people can bring in their smaller items and make the donation right on the spot, and we moved to a new location. We're at the corner of 49th Street and Almerton Road in Clearwater. It's 13355 49th Street North, and big red brick building. Big sign on the front that says Restore, and most of the space that we have is dedicated to the retail environment for the Restore, and it's air conditioned, by the way. If anybody was in our old environment, they'll appreciate that one, which wasn't air conditioned. But with larger items, or with someone who's doing renovation and they want to donate cabinets, as you're talking about, either we'll work with their construction people, or we'll actually come in with a deconstruction crew, and we will carefully take those out, clean them up, and put them on sale. All of this goes back to providing more money for building houses.
And I know that one of the great successes of Habitat is getting volunteers involved, not only the homeowners that are going to be receiving the home, but actual community folks who come in and help. Tell us about your volunteer program.
Well, Jane, we rely very heavily on volunteers in order to build affordable housing. In fact, that's what keeps the housing as affordable as it is, because we have that volunteer labor. You probably don't know that it takes approximately 200 folks to volunteer on one Habitat house. That's 1,200 to 1,500 hours of volunteer time to build one house. And if you multiply that over the number of houses that we do per year, that's over 5,000 people in our community who are actually volunteering with us at any point in time. The rewards, I think, as much as anything else, are personal to individuals. We have a unique situation where you can be at any point in time working alongside the president of a company, or you can be working alongside a homeowner candidate wearing their blue hard hats and their blue t-shirts, and relationships build. And I think people, from a volunteer standpoint, having that personal quality to go with it, it just adds to the environment and to the effect that they get.
And I know Frank and I have been very proud to be alongside some of those folks at some volunteer activities that we did with the county, and it was very rewarding. And I know we want to get to Ron here in just a moment, but I know that you also have a number of special events throughout the year that helps to add to the coffer, so to speak, and continue the great work that you're doing.
We really do. I'll just go fairly quickly through it. We'll start with the calendar year. Early in the calendar year, usually in February, we have a blitz build for the last 5 years, and we're going to do it again in 2013. And it is a community affair where over 500 volunteers get together with us, with subcontractors. We build 2 houses in 1 week. So it's a great rallying point for the community and for us, and it allows us to really highlight what we can do and how well the houses are built. It's been a great success for us. Beyond that, we have our annual fundraiser in September, which is the Hammers and Heartstrings Gala, which just concluded recently at the Sand Pearl Resort, and it was a wonderful event. Then in November, we're actually having a golf tournament, and this is a friend raiser. It's not meant to be a fundraiser. It's a friend raiser where for $75, a player can come out, play in the scramble, and they'll get lunch, dinner, and have prizes and live auction and raffles and a whole bunch of different things that go on with that. So we're constantly keeping it going and trying to keep it fresh for the community.
Well, the information on that golf tournament is, I assume, is on your website as well right now?
On the website, yes, it is. Absolutely. It's also available through Paradise Golf. So any Paradise Golf members can go out there, and we're under events as nonprofits, and they can sign up there as well.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, the Blitz build, I've gotten to participate in a couple of those, and it is truly amazing. I mean, at one of the years, I was able to go out about 4 times during the week, and to watch a house, and when folks arrive, it's just a slab usually, and I guess the plumbing is under the slab and stubbed out, but you come back and every day you see tremendous success, and then the following Saturday you're having a dedication for a new family to move into a new home. There's not much else like it out there.
It really is, and last year we were very fortunate. We had Charlie's World actually come out, and they did a time-lapse photography, and I think they did 4 days, and you saw exactly what you're talking about. You had the slab with the concrete exterior walls up, and by the time they finished the 4th day, it looked like the house was virtually finished. We were still working on the interior, but wow. Can you imagine?
Yes, wonderful activity.
Absolutely. Now, Ron, we had talked earlier about, I think Steve had mentioned that there are, for the first time, some actual communities that have been built, which is rather new for Habitat. And one of the ones that we want to talk about is Shady Grove. How did that whole thing come about?
Well, it came about with, first of all, a lot of help from the county and the Dunedin Housing Authority, who made the land available to us. It was a former public housing complex that had deteriorated. We were able to obtain the land and then replat it for 19 new townhomes. And we've been busy building townhomes and actually obtaining LEED certification on those homes there. It's a wonderful location, close to downtown Dunedin, nice architecture for the homes, just really a beautiful community.
And are there still spaces available for folks?
There sure are. Yeah, we're actually recruiting for homeowner candidates right now. So we invite anyone to come to our website and look us up and see if they might apply and qualify for a Habitat home in Shady Grove.
Perfect. And you had mentioned LEEDs, and let's kind of briefly talk about what LEEDs means, because this is a very exciting opportunity for the homeowners to get a LEED certified home.
It is, yeah. LEED, which stands for Leadership in Energy Efficient Design, is a certification that is available for homes and also commercial buildings to really certify green building, that certain green building threshold has been met. And we've really embraced sustainability with the Habitat for Humanity. We find that it's really solidly in the interest of our homeowners. And LEED certification is just really a way for us to signify how green our homes are.
And it certainly helps the homeowners because they're able to maintain it much easier and less expensive by having a green home, right?
Yeah, that's right. When I first got into affordable housing, I sort of made the assumption that a less expensive home on the front end, a home built less expensively, would be cheaper for the homeowner. But I learned that that's not really true. We really focus on the operational costs, the long-term, the 30-year costs. Everything we do, we put through a cost-benefit analysis, a 30-year cost-benefit analysis, because we want to build a home that performs well for sustainability, which includes really for three areas for us. There's wind mitigation, which affects the insurance rates, and then energy efficiency, and water conservation, of course, which affects the monthly operating costs on the power and water bills. And then durability, building a home that's really durable and lasts so that the homeowner doesn't have to replace components that are breaking continually.
And these are such beautiful homes. I know, Frank, you and I have both had the pleasure of being able to visit these homes, and they are absolutely wonderful. Stevens Creek is another wonderful community in Clearwater. Tell us about that one.
Stevens Creek, again, was on the site of a former public housing complex that over time had deteriorated, and we were able to obtain the land, about a 9-acre parcel, and plat it for 51 homes. We've built about 20 of the homes so far, and we continue building. Very strong there. The community has really embraced the neighborhood. We've designed a nice aesthetic. The homes look good, reflect well on the community, and of course are very sustainable. And we've just the community's really been embraced. The Pinellas County community has really embraced our work there, and we have many partners. We're very excited to build there.
And it's important, I think, to mention that these two communities were former public housing sites, and you're essentially repurposing that land.
That's right. Yeah, we most of our work really is repurposed land as opposed to developing on a site that had never been built on. And some of the neat things about those communities, those are actually the homeowners, 51 in Stevens Creek and 19 in Shady Grove, are tax-generating homeowners. They'll pay property taxes. So they really contribute to the community in many ways, but including strengthening that tax base.
I remember a few years ago, or a couple of years ago at least, one of the very first home dedications at Stevens Creek was very special because the home was being dedicated to a woman with some children, and that in previous years that woman had actually been a tenant at the Homer Villas public housing facility. That must have been thrilling for everybody.
It sure is to see someone progress from living in the public housing to owning their home and a durable, sustainable home with an affordable mortgage that really long-term is a wonderful place to raise her family. Mm-hmm.
Well, this is just one of the examples of how important the Habitat program is and how it really works to improve people's lives. Not just giving them a place to live, but making their lives much improved. You mentioned briefly working with older or properties from housing authorities and all, but how does Habitat go about finding properties for new development?
Yeah, a number of ways. And one way certainly has been with the support of the county, has been just so supportive of Habitat's work, and the various cities that we work in as well throughout Pinellas County. So one way we obtain properties is with the assistance of the county and the cities. A second way is just purchasing them on the open market, which we do sometimes. In recent years, really, the banking industry, lenders who obtained properties that were dilapidated or lots, vacant lots, have been actually donating them to Habitat for Humanity or selling them at reduced rates. So we've really appreciated what some lenders have been providing, the opportunities they've been providing to Habitat. And then also occasionally persons will just donate land or maybe a dilapidated home to us that we can demolish and really repurpose and rebuild with a sustainable, durable homeownership home on that property.
So Habitat, like a lot of infill development programs, you're not only helping the people who end up living in that house, but you're improving that neighborhood by putting a nice, very efficient, sustainable home in that neighborhood.
That's right. With a homeowner, an educated homeowner with an affordable mortgage, contributing to the tax base and really contributing to the community long term.
Very good. Very, very good.
Absolutely, and it's always a pleasure to be able to talk to you about the things that are happening out there. One question that comes to my mind, though, is do the homeowners have a lot of input into the actual homes that you're building?
The homeowner's primary area of selection is in color selection during the home. The homeowners are really vested as they build in partnership with the volunteers and subcontractors and in that sweat equity process on the site. So they are really vested and really a part of that process.
And we only have a moment left, but I think it's also very important to mention that in addition to the wonderful thing that you're doing in helping create communities with new homes, but you're actually creating jobs.
That's right. There's a lot of talk and, of course, a lot of needs for job creation right now. And the National Association of Home Builders estimates that 3 jobs are created for the construction of each home in the country. So in Habitat and the many homes that we're building each year are actually creating a lot of jobs. We love volunteers and utilize a lot of volunteers, but we also utilize a lot of subcontractors and then everyone involved in the manufacturing of the materials that go into that home. So Habitat really has been a stable job creator in this community for the last number of years.
Well, it's absolutely a wonderful program, and we're thrilled to be able to share the success that you're having, and we certainly want to wish you much more success moving forward. And I would hope that those folks who are listening to us now would have it in their hearts to find out more about you and look into volunteering with you, and I think that they would find it's an incredibly rewarding experience to be a Habitat volunteer.
It is, and as Jane mentioned, we have both had the opportunity to do that, and it's good, hard, hot, sweaty work, but it is so much fun and so rewarding, and you're working alongside the people who are going to end up being homeowners, and you're also working alongside folks who became a homeowner last year, and they're still helping the new folks, and that's just a marvelous dynamic.
Yeah,
that is good.
Making wonderful communities, so thank you for what you're doing, and let's see if we can keep it up. We want to thank our guests, Steve Lightburn, Vice President of Development, and Ron Spoor, who is Chief Operations Officer with Habitat for Humanity of Pinellas County. We want to thank our friends with Pinellas County Communications and, of course, WRXB Radio. And we hope that you will join us again next month for another program. And again, we always enjoy listening or hearing from our listeners. And I'm Jane Merlin.
And I'm Frank Bowman.
Thanks for tuning in. And remember, there's no place like home.